Medical Association of Europe, USA, and by AHDA. Srimanti has worked successfully on clients across the globe on several ailments and helped them lead a holistic life. Srimanti was geophysicist by qualification and profession and has been in oil and gas industry for last 15 years. She is alumnus of Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, India, and recently her story was published in the alumni web page. She is based in Dubai, but have clients in UK, USA, India, Singapore, Sweden, and Australia. So without wasting more time, I hand over to her to enlighten us with her knowledge and experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank first the esteemed guest of honor, Mr. Sandeep Kumar, for his presence. And I also want to thank the entire Abu Dhabi CA chapter, the CA Neeraj, Shafiq, who has been very patient with my questions now and then. And one name I have to mention today is Rajiv Datar, because he has been there. He was the one who said, why don't you present? So here I am. Thank you. Today's my topic is soul, mind, body connection. And though it may seem, the topic seems very, spiritual and all that, I'm going to explain to it in a very scientific way. I'll try to do my best. So if I were to explain to you in terms of layman terms, in terms of computer language, soul, mind, and body. The body would be the hardware, the mind, the software, and the soul would be the power connection. So how does diseases connect to all of this? The diseases would be the bugs. First, they corrupt our software, that's the mind, and then they come on the body, the physical, the hardware. So I want to unfold the story in front of you and explain to you. Little about me, it has already been said. Yes, I have been a geophysicist by background, and I've been in the oil and gas industry, and I've worked in MNCs like Schlumberger and Weatherford. And recently, my story got published in IIT Kharagpur, which is an honor, I feel, because not everything is about money. That's what I realized then. Hypnotherapy came to me as my inner calling because nobody in my family or nobody in my friends, nobody even heard about it, neither did I hear about it. And without much publicity, I got clients and they started healing. So my qualifications are all shared right now. I am also doing an added qualification, which is a post-graduation on transpersonal regression therapy from Netherlands. So with that, I'm going to talk about the science of hypnotherapy. Yes, it is a science. It's not a magic. So science of hypnotherapy has been with us from 4000 BC. Okay, the Babylonians used it. The Chinese used it in their medicine in 2000. 1700, this practice got formalized. And Dr. James Braid used hypnotherapy as an anesthesia, and he worked and he did operations. So just imagine if there's no anesthesia used. So there's no process to subdue the pain. So if there's no pain, the healing is obviously much faster. So modern day hypnotherapy is found to be useful in physiological, psychological, and psychosomatic issues. The most common is speaking up in the West as hypnodental procedures. So you do not use general anesthesia or partial anesthesia. You just go for your dental process. And hypnobirthing, so no epidural during the birth. So with that, I come to a question like, okay, that's fine, we get it. But do you think, can I be hypnotized? To those skeptics, I have these 4 scenarios. If you answer to any of the scenario is yes, then yes, you can be hypnotized. So have you ever heard a song and instantly remembered an event that happened years before? Have you read a book and you were totally oblivious to someone asking you a question because you're so glued to the book? Have you ever watched children closely when they're watching TV? You call their name, they're not even listening. They're glued to the TV. So have you ever cried while watching a movie, knowing fully well that it's just a movie? So if the answer to any of the scenario, if your answer was yes, then yes. These are the times when you went into a different state of awareness. Because hypnosis is nothing but a different state of awareness. Basically, we all go into a trance-like state when we are just waking up in the morning, when we are not awake fully, but we are there, but not fully yet, when we are about to go to sleep. So basically, hypnotherapy is a form of psychotherapy that uses relaxation, extreme concentration, and intense attention to achieve a heightened state of awareness, consciousness, and mindfulness. So in other words, it places the individual into a trance or an altered state of awareness. So how effective is this hypnosis? So when I say that, this particular slide kind of sums it all up. So hypnosis, if you see, the study has been done by the American Health Magazine way back in 2006. So the recovery rate with hypnotherapy with 6 sessions is 93%. With CBT, that is cognitive behavioral therapy, 22 sessions, 72% is the recovery rate. And with psychoanalysis, see the number of sessions, way beyond others, recovery rate, 38%. So 600 sessions, and this is a recovery rate. So this kind of says, wow. So where is this useful? Hypnotherapy is found beneficial in pain control. I already touched upon it when I said hypnobirthing, hypnodental procedures. Apart from that, it can help in reducing pains due to burns, IBS. I've had several clients who are suffering for IBS for years. Joint pains, headaches, migraines. I have several clients with migraines also. All come out of it. So hypnotherapy is again useful in reducing hot flashes, okay, for women who are just nearing menopause. And also it has been found to be very, very beneficial for menstrual issues and problems. This is the only therapy which works for behavioral change, okay, like be it insomnia, bedwetting or enuresis, smoking or overeating. So hypnosis can be very, very useful in reducing the side effects related to chemotherapy and radiation treatment. Again, this is the only process which works in reducing symptoms of anxiety, trauma release, fear, phobia, because there's no medication for it. So with that, I come to the basics of like why is this happening? 93% recovery rate. That's huge. But how is this happening? So the theory of mind, the software which I was talking about earlier, mind comprises of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is 10 to 12%, and the subconscious is 88 to 90%. So what does the conscious mind do? Thinks, decides, analyzes, logically, rationally, everything. So what does the subconscious mind do then? So this is the zone where your logical answers of most of your illogical questions related to your life situations are stored. So basically it's a database. So it stores all the information. So I'll give you an example of your subconscious mind. You meet someone, say in a grocery store, and you're like, I know this guy, but the name doesn't come up. And you give it some thought and like, forget it. 3 days down the line, when you're not even thinking about it, boop, the name comes up. So that's because you gave a command to your subconscious mind. The recall took time, but it did come because the subconscious never fails. Just by looking at the pictograph of it, you've understood the subconscious mind is not only 9 times bigger, it is 6,000 times more powerful. Okay, I already mentioned it's a database. It also controls all your involuntary actions, everything. Okay, so your heart is beating without you interfering in it. Everything is getting taken care of by the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind has a part of it is a primitive mind, which I will call as evolutionary memory. I'll touch upon more as my slides proceed. But we are born with 2 ways to handle any crisis. The first is fight. The second is flight, autonomous nervous system. Okay, so when there's a crisis in life, the body prepares. Okay, there's a crisis. I have a crisis, emergency. So either we fight the situation or we flight. We fight with the hands, we flight with the legs. So the body prepares. So in that case, to run that extra mile, so my heart is beating very fast. But when the crisis gets over, I mean, your heart can't keep on pumping that fast for a longer period of time, obviously. So when the crisis gets over, you have to come back to homeostasis. Yeah. But so as I said, fight and flight is what we are born with. But we have picked up a new way of handling any kind of crisis, which is playing dead. So we neither we fight nor we flight. We play dead. So there's a lot of internalization, and that leads to modern day stress. So the stress button, the crisis mode is always on for us. So when that is on, like imagine if your crisis mode is always on, your fight and flight is high, you're active, like you alert because the crisis is there. When that is happening, the digestive process, like because the energy of your body is focused for you to run or fight. So at that point, your survival is the key. So the body would not put any energy to digest your food. So that's why if you say modern day stress, IBS is so common, or any kind of gut issues and all that. So that is the reason of modern day stress and anxiety and other diseases are connected with it. So there are many issues which the hypnotherapy or hypnosis can work, but the fear of loud noises and fear of falling, we cannot work. Why? Because that's our evolution from the Big Bang Theory. Like that's why even a child will react to a loud noise or the fear of falling. A child would have that. So I have drawn some disc here. So what does it mean? Basically, I should be working with my software of my current age. All right. But there is something in me unexplainable. The moment I am asked to go on a lift, I freeze. So there's a software change happening. Okay. And I'm not even aware. It is so unexplainable. I have no idea why I freeze at the sight of the lift. Claustrophobia. Okay. So there's a software shift which is happening and I have no control. So there is where your subconscious mind has the answer to all of it. Okay. Basically, when an information comes to us, it comes to the conscious mind and it stays there for 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay, it stays there. And the process, like the mind can process about 4,000 message units per minute. Okay, so from the conscious mind, between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, there's something called critical filter. Now, what's a critical filter? Critical filter is developed. I mean, we are all born enlightened. Okay, critical filter is developed from a year of 0 to 8 years. So a child doesn't have any inhibitions whatsoever. Wherever he poos, he can pee and he can eat at the same place. He can go in and talk to a stranger, no problem. This critical filter is developed from SEER, socio, economic, education, and religion. So we train the child to handle the world. So that's a critical filter. Now that critical filter, like it basically is a layer of judgment. Okay, so if you see the clearing of critical filter, when you're working very hard, even though it's not a physical work, mentally you get tired. And that's because there's a lot of clouding happening in your critical filter. And that is why clearing off your critical filter is very important. And how does this happen? Sleep. Sleep is the biggest antidote for any kind of issues. You sleep, next day you're refreshed. So clearing off critical filters through sleep, meditation helps big time to calm you down. Hypnosis, and of course, breath work. So once the clearing of the critical filter happens, the message units, which first was taken in the conscious mind, goes and stays in the critical filter, where it stays there for 24 hours. After that, the critical filter decides, should I keep the information or should I reject? Okay. So what is stored in the database of the subconscious mind is all the experiences. So all the experiences which is known to me, even though it can be bad, is pleasurable because it's known to me. Whatever is not known, it is rejected. That is why even though an experience is good, but since you have not experienced it, your mind rejects it. That's very common. So any new idea, that's why faces a lot of criticism. Sorry, not interested. Even though if it's beneficial for me, I don't want it. So that's why, because it's pain. Subconscious mind takes it as a pain. Okay, because it's not experienced it. So as I said, it stays in the 24 hours in the critical mind, and then it goes to the subconscious mind. When in hypnosis, we reject, we do not even talk to the conscious mind, we do not talk to the critical filter, we straight away talk to the subconscious mind. That's why, since we are talking to the subconscious mind, and we have already established the subconscious mind is not only 6,000 times more powerful, it is also 9 times bigger. That's why the recovery rate is so high. Beat any problem. So with that, I come to an understand, like I want to explain to you how this is happening when you're awake, when you're in sleep, or when you're in hypnosis. What is happening to the conscious mind and what is happening to the subconscious mind. So when you are awake, your conscious mind is awake and in control, of course. But your subconscious mind is always awake and in control. When you're sleeping, your conscious mind has no idea what's happening around, so no control. Subconscious mind is always awake and in control. In hypnosis, this conscious mind is awake, but it has no control. Subconscious mind, again, is awake and in control. So having said that, the difference between a hypnosis and hypnotherapy is with permission only. Okay, it can be only worked when someone agrees. So if someone comes to me, can you work on my husband to for him to get rid of smoking? Well, no, I can't, unless your husband agrees on it. So it's only with permission. The second thing which I want to bring into account, like I want to tell you, is hypnosis, like every science has its pro and a con. So as I said, conscious mind is always awake. Okay, it has no control. Yes, it can be used in a negative way as well. That's why this term has such a negative connotation. But hypnotherapy, it's really beneficial, and I'm going to explain more on that. So with that, I come to a slide. What do we, it's a philosophical slide. What do we need most in life? So people say, oh, you know what, I want a promotion, I want to have a child, I want to get married, I want to buy my Tesla, whatever that is. What is that going to give you? Happiness. And that is, so we are looking for happiness. But what is it that's not making me happy? Maybe it's my own behavior isn't to my satisfaction, or somebody else's behavior is causing inconvenience to me. So in order to become happy and balanced, what if I identify the issues involved? So where are these issues coming from? So that these are the 4 major issues. They are creating the havoc in our life, I would say, the pillars, the negative emotions, which is creating havoc in our life. The first, I did something wrong. So what am I feeling today? Guilty. Somebody did something wrong to me. What am I feeling for that person? Anger. Okay, I didn't do anything wrong. Somebody didn't do wrong. But the situation was such that I couldn't keep my promise. So what am I feeling right now? Helplessness. So these are the negative pillars, the 3 pillars of creating havoc. There's one more. What if? That is a what if. Something which has not even happened. What if I lose my job? What if I lose my near and dear one? What if? So if you see, these 4, the first 3, guilt, anger, and helplessness, are from the past, something which has already happened. And fear and anxiety is from the future, which has not happened yet, but I'm having the fear of it. So what is it I need in the present to be happy? Okay, so in the present, like, fine, I did a mistake. I know that. So what do I do for it now? I'm responsible for it. I take action for it. Somebody did something wrong. Fine. So the only thing, the anger is one of the most negative emotion It's like a slow poison inside your system. It kills you slowly. So when you're angry on someone, it doesn't really matter to the person to whom you're angry actually. It doesn't matter. It actually kills you from inside. So when you are, the only solution for that is forgive and forget. But you will say what? Very easy for you to say. No, when you forgive and forget, you are actually giving yourself the permission to move on. Yeah. And helplessness. COVID made us all helpless. Okay. So what do we do now for that? I mean, like the whole idea is, where is your focus? You can only care and prepare and leave the rest. Anxiety and worry, does it help you in any way? No, just empower yourself, your focus, care and prepare, and choose to move on is what the answer is. With that, I come to my most important slide. And I'm going to take time on this slide. I'm going to explain this slide to you in terms of physics. We have 4 bodies. Yes, the physical body we all know, fine. Yeah, but let me explain to you in terms of physics. As I said, the first body is your thought body. Okay, so potential energy. Every thought has a potential to become something really big. Yeah, so that thought body is our causal body. So that potential, when it goes inside your body, it has now motion, so kinetic energy. And that emotion, that creates an emotion in you. That's your astral body. If I were to ask you, what are you thinking? Probably you cannot tell me. But what are you feeling? Yes, you can tell me. I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling worried, I'm feeling jealous, I'm feeling scared. These are tangible emotions. Yeah. Now that emotion of yours, it's already in the body, you're feeling it. That matches with your energy levels, your chakra body. So energy means if you're feeling angry, your body is going to match that. Your hormones are going to match that energy. You're going to, like, you just stamp your feet, you bang the door. You didn't tell yourself that I'm going to do it. It's just happening. So when you're happy, you're humming that beautiful tone and you just walk in and everybody knows, oh, you're happy. What's the news? So what I'm trying to say, your emotions are now matching. Your energy body matches your emotion. Okay. So, and that is your chakra body, because we have 7 chakras and our endocrine glands are located on these chakras. And finally, your physical body, okay, your hardware. Now, when we have an issue with us on the physical body, okay, we go to a doctor. The doctor looks at it. It's a symptomatic approach and he gives a medication, and then probably you get better, and sometimes you don't. There's a relapse. Most of the time is because you didn't go and you didn't understand the cause of it. So this is a more holistic approach, integrated approach. You go to the cause of it. Once you understand the cause of it, the recovery is permanent. Okay. So I'm going to quickly go to the chakra slide. I was just talking about the energies. So as I said, we have these 7 chakras and our major endocrine glands are located on these chakras. Okay, and the flow of energy is the flow of life within us. When these chakras are blocked, this can lead to some physical diseases, mental imbalances as well. So the first chakra, root chakra, the gland is adrenal gland. Then is your sacral chakra. Swadhisthana, gonad gland. Here is your Manipura, solar plexus. The gland is pancreatic on top of it. Then Anahata, the heart chakra, the thymus gland is on top of it. This is your Visuddha, throat chakra, thyroid gland. We all know, I mean, what all of it does. Then is your Ajna, third eye, pineal gland. And Sahasrara is your crown chakra, hypothalamus gland. I actually gave an entire presentation on this. I'm just telling you how your energy body is so important. How important it is for your chakras to be balanced. So with that, I come to what are the issues I've worked on? What all can be done? So I have worked with people with low self-confidence, cessation to smoking, public speaking, bad habits, accident trauma release, attention and focus deficiency, phobias, allergy, tinnitus. For these, there are no medication, nothing. So motion sickness, PCOD, fibroid, psoriasis, anxiety and depression, thyroid, chronic pains, high BP, IBS. This list goes on. Menstrual issues, vaginitis, Crohn's disease. There's a lot. And you can read more about it because my clients have written to me that they have got better, and I have all these testimonials. I'm going to present few case stories here because of the limitation of time. So who are my clients? So as I already said, my clients are people who have issues which can be treated medically and also which cannot be. Allergies, is there any treatment? No. Phobias, nothing. Public speaking, confidence, nothing. My clients are there. The reason I put this up is just to tell you that I work both face-to-face and online. My clients from Abu Dhabi obviously are all also online clients. So 85% of my clients are online. My youngest client is 6 years old and my oldest is 76 years old. The 6-year client came because she had myopia. It's just been 2 weeks. I have not got the results yet for her. My oldest client is 76 years old. She had vaginitis and she's completely out of it. So when a client comes to me, there's obviously a non-disclosure agreement, which is crucial. But having said that, when a person comes with an issue and one person completely recovers, it is very important to understand this is my movement. It's when a person writes to me, a feedback is not really for me. It is also because that their body has gone a lot of change. And they have to accept the new self. And when they say this, also they also light candles, they're like a light to other and give hopes to others who are also facing the same issue. How many sessions are needed? Depends. I have already mentioned in the beginning, there are 6 sessions, which gives the best results. But having said that, I have also had clients who have seen amazing results. Like I have migraine, snoring, BP clients with just 1 or 2 sessions. Thyroid client, they have got results. It's very individualistic. The sessions are 1.5 hours long, 1 to 1.5 hours, again depends. Do I record these sessions? Not really. But when I do record certain parts of it, when there is a suggestion based, when I have clients who come for weight loss, and when somebody comes for procrastination, somebody comes for self-confidence, I do record certain parts and give it. What is my recovery rate? Like when clients come to me, the recovery rate is 94% because there are dropouts. Because as I said to you earlier, am I ready for the change? Yeah, you tell me my BP will go, but am I okay for that? Am I okay to understand what caused it? Not everyone is. So even when they start the journey, they drop out. But people who have stuck with me, I've seen 100% recovery rate, and I'm going to show those stories, few of them in my next slide. So this particular client of mine had diabetes for 10 years, and she also had IBS. She openly claims it. She also allowed Facebook tag and all that. She was very happy with her healing journey. What is the main reason of having diabetes or IBS? So IBS is a stomach, solar plexus getting blocked. There was a lot of control issues she was facing. Diabetes happens when there's no sweetness left in your life. There's some kind of doom feeling, okay? How do I know that they're okay? Their medical report states. So after 6 sessions, she did 6 sessions, she was out of diabetes, first time in her life. So if you can see, her results are out here in the open. This particular client of mine came to me for a weight loss. She was with me for 2 months. Weight loss is one of the most difficult because it takes time to show. But with weight loss, she also lost her fear for heights. She had constipation issues. She had menstrual issues. All of them, she got over it. And she was kind enough to share her transformation. She lost, as of now, she's lost 14 kilos. But that time when she shared it with me, 11 kilos, and she dropped 3 sizes. This particular client of mine, the mom is sharing the success story here, because she says her son had tonsillitis and thyroid for the last 10 years. So from 7 years old, he was having these medications. And after, this was actually a very phenomenal result, because in 2 sessions, he came out of it. And first time ever, he was not having hypothyroidism, and he was off the pills. Again, not just because he was feeling that way, his medical reports says that he's off. So this particular client from US, she had motion sickness and snoring issues. She had it for years. So motion sickness is when you're trapped. You feel there's a feeling of trapped. And she had it. Once she understood it, she could come out of it. These are very subtle. Again, the story is yours. It's just that you have to unlock it and understand it. When you go to the root cause of it, the solution is permanent. As I said to you, this particular client of mine happens to be my sister. I'll spend some time in this. So she is a PhD holder. She is a senior vice president in HSBC. She's the biggest critic. She was like, what the hell are you doing? You studied in IIT, now you're doing this. What are you doing? And then she booked a session, and I realized she's serious at this point. Yes, she's my sister. So I knew she had thyroid issues. So throat chakra was completely blocked. I knew that. But what I didn't know was, like, at that point when she contacted me, she had cervical spondylitis pain. So we did the session, and I was not expecting much because she was my first online client. And being a sister, I was not expecting any results. The next day she called me and she said, you know what? I don't know what you've done. And whatever you told me, I have done. And I'm facing that I can move my neck aram se. There's no issue at all. So right now she's a biggest convert, and she's done a lot of sessions with me, and she's completely healed. Her thyroid is well under control. This particular client of mine, from the day she started her periods, she used to get irregular periods, nausea, vomiting, cramps, backache, headaches, immense pain. Okay, and she would miss school sometimes. She's a brilliant student. She'd miss school sometimes, and she'll be completely go inactive. But this was the first time, she's telling me, after 3 sessions, she's completely out of it. First time she felt as if she didn't have it. She could travel, do multiple dance classes. This is what she tells me. This is a client of mine who used to suffer from migraine for years. Years she used to suffer. Right now, no pain at all after 4 sessions. She tells me she has been to several therapists before me, and this is the first time she's feeling. Again, what is this migraine pain? Why does it happen? Because somewhere she was getting a push to be in a direction that she didn't want to be. And she could understand it. Every disease which happens in our body, there's a metaphysical cause to it. Once you kind of, like it's like your body talking to you. Once you understand what it is trying to tell you, you are out of it. This is a young client of mine. I'm 17 years old. He had Crohn's disease. Crohn's is a severe form of IBS. If not treated on time, it can lead to stomach cancer. He was already on steroids when he came to me. In just a couple of sessions, he was complete. 5 sessions he took from me, and he was completely out of it. He tells me now his body is completely under control. He doesn't have to rush to toilet again and again. No loose motions, nothing. Well under control. And he's off steroids. This particular client of mine from US, she was highly gluten allergic. When I say highly gluten allergic, she would not even have the lentils, dals, because it seems dal has hing, and hing has a portion of maida or wheat in it. She had been hospitalized twice or thrice because of having gluten in the past. So she's like, no, never for me. Yes, when she worked with me, hers was an exceptional case because not everyone goes there. She went into a past life. Again, skeptics may raise their eyebrows right now. For me, it doesn't really matter. She's now out of it. She's having gluten. She's having her favorite food, samosas, puri, and she's having a good time with her family. And that's what she tells me. Yeah. So she's completely out of her gluten allergic after years. I want to say this is a story of a psoriasis. This is a phenomenal recovery rate in one session. This was my first multilingual client, like he was a Nepali. Hindi, English, both were difficult. So I used Google Translate to communicate with him. So I want to just show you his recovery. So he had psoriasis. Can you see this? Sorry. So psoriasis again is kind of, it's a skin issue. Okay, he had it. He had been having it for the last 2 years. Okay, and he had it exactly after his mom's death 2 years before. He developed it. So he had a self-rejection. Somewhere in his mind, there was some issues with his mom he had, and he felt himself to be responsible for it. There was a rejection, self-rejection, completely out. You can see his shiny face. He had patches not only here, stomach and all as well. Okay. With that, I come to the end of my presentation. I'm practically in most of the social media everywhere. My website is healingwithshri.com, and my WhatsApp and email ID is out there. I'm in there in the Google, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. Also, I wanted to ask you, like, if there's only one sentence you want to take from today's session, let it be, you are the creator of your own reality. So if you have that issue that you're facing today, and if you take charge, there's nothing in the world which can stop you from getting out of it. With that, I'm open to questions.
Thank you, Srimanti, for the wonderful speech. I will be your first client from this group very soon.
Wait, I just want to just open my, okay.
Okay, so there are a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So first question is, how sustainable is the treatment?
So, okay. So when you say, what does a sustainable mean? As I already showed to you, okay, my diabetes client, I just had a chat with her 2 days before. So I asked her, how are you doing? And she said, I'm fine. There's no diabetes. I said, did you go and check again? She's saying, I haven't gone to my second testing yet. I'll do it after 6 months or more, but I'm feeling fantastic. Coming to the thyroid client, I did talk to him and I asked, what about you? He said, no, my thyroid is under control. The mom said, tonsillitis, he said, I did have a feeling of itchy throat, but no medication. Tonsillitis, thyroid, throat chakra blocked. There are other issues as well. Personal, I cannot discuss, but he could find out. Yeah.
Okay. Second question is.
Sorry, Anand. Was it unsustainable? Like sustainable meaning was the long-lasting effect of it? As I already said to you, is forever. So my client who's having gluten right now, she's having no symptoms whatsoever. Like what she had before. She has been hospitalized thrice. So no issues at all. Yep.
Okay. Second question. Also, do you make the patient aware of the cause of disease so that the problem does not come back once you finish with your therapy?
No, you know the cause. That's why you're coming to me, right? I mean, like you're saying the root cause of it. Of course, you have to understand here. This is not my story which is unfolding. It is your story. You have to understand. So when you are in a therapy, in a trance-like state, you understand how this all happened. You go back to the cause of it. So as I said, you'll be very much there. Your mind, like your conscious mind is awake, but not in control. So you might remember certain parts of it. There might be a little bit of amnesia, but you remember what you're talking. Yeah. So yes, you remember all of it, most of it. When you go to the root cause of it, you come out of it. You have to relive it You have to catharsize it to come out of it. Yeah.
Okay. Next question, why most people prefer going to doctor if you can cure them? Why this science is not so popular if it is effective?
That's a very good question. And I think the answer would be the joke, like when you say, like, I'm a hypnosis, I can do hypnotize you, I'm a hypnotherapy. Because of all the negative connotations, like in the movie, in the stage, you hypnotize someone and someone is making a funny noise, like becomes a pig or a dog. This is the way it has been connoted. Every science has a negative and a positive. People have been hypnotized and scammed, but we just choose to look at the negative part of it. Also, I'm not denying the fact that can everybody do it? Can everybody be effective? Not really. So I think that's the thing. How do you know who's correct? That is the way. So though, again, people are more comfortable going the more normal approach. As I said to you before, our mind rejects new ideas. Okay, though this is not a new science. Yeah.
Next question is, what will be the pricing in general for sessions?
The pricing for sessions is like, it's per session. As I said, like, again, how many sessions you need depends upon you. I recommend 5 to 6 sessions, but that's my recommendation. Like the thyroid client took only 2 and he was like, that's it, I'm good. The psoriasis client took only 1 and he was out of it. So, but per session, I charge up 500 dirhams as of now. But I know people who charge much, much more. But that's me as of now.
Okay. Next question is, some of the allergy are related to climate condition in UAE, fine, sand, etc. Whether this can be treated?
Yes. Yes. So can I say something really, which because when I first heard it myself, it shook me. Common cold. Common cold, we say, what? Weather change. We are coming under the weather. We are feeling that way. Common cold main reason. What is the main reason? Is whenever you say immunity is going down. Yes, that's correct. But it's mostly comes to you when you are somewhere your self-esteem has been hurt, or you're feeling sorry for yourself. That's when your immunity goes down. Have you ever heard, Anand, like somebody is very happy and he's sick? Never. So when you are happy, it is impossible for you to fall sick. You get it? So when you're sad, your immunity goes down and that's it. Free entry for the diseases.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is there any negative impact by this treatment? Any side effects?
So when you say the negative, I haven't seen any. But of so many clients that I've worked on, let's talk about my sister. So she had thyroid and she would sometimes have rashes, especially when she was about to go to sleep. She would scratch herself. When she started with me, she told me the rashes has gone up, but that was for 2 days. I think homeopathy is also similar. It went up, but I said, don't give up. And right now she's nothing. Her skin is absolutely clear. So, does it mean a migraine client will come, the migraine will increase? So again, I don't know. Not everybody will react in the same way. But this can be one of the side effects. And another thing which I've seen is after the session, because there's a lot of catharsis happening. See, this is not a magic which is happening. You came with an issue, there's a reason for that which is happening to you. Even as simple as a pimple happening on your face, there's a reason. There's a body's communication to you. When you are able to interpret it and you go to the cause of it, sometimes it's not easy. I had a client from Australia. She said, what, I have a very bad relationship. I had some bad memories with my in-laws. Can you erase it? I won't be telling you anything. I said, hello, I'm not doing any magic here. You have to catharsize and let it go. You get it?
Yes. Yeah. Is it helpful for development problems with kids?
So when you say development problems, you have to specify, because there are several people. So I had clients like with ADHD. ADHD, and that too, that client was in US. It was very difficult for me because the child was 9 years. I couldn't hold his attention on the screen for long. So how does this happen? And the child is ADHD from probably birth. Some defects are congenital, okay, by birth. In those cases, I prefer to work on the mom.
Okay.
So I'm going little too much, but I'm just telling you, working with mom can help at times in those cases when the child is too small.
Okay. Person with a dialysis problem, is hypnosis beneficial to him?
Yes. I'll tell you why the kidney, but not today, maybe. Kidney issues, the major reason of kidney issues, if you want to hear. Do you want to?
Yeah. No, I don't have kidney problem, but.
No, not for you. I mean, because there were a lot of discussions before me. Kidney issues mainly happens when there's a lot of criticism, disappointment, failure, and that is all because of you. Again, you will see, you know what? I'm not consciously, you're not doing it. This is all happening subconsciously. Yeah.
So I asked this question because one of my fast friend, 95% kidney got damaged, and he's on a dialysis, and doctor has given a very limited lifespan, and I really want to help him, whichever way, means through transplantation or dialysis. So that's my personal question regarding how can we help him.
Yeah. So, I understand that you want to help him. This only works when the person wants to help himself. You get it? It's with permission. When I work on someone, I do work and I'm going to the root cause of it. But I also give not a lot, 2 minutes of your action items, which if you cannot spare, then there's no point coming to me and wasting my time and your time. I do give some action items to do, which is very basic, but you have to do it.
Thank you. And the last question, have you treated people with neurological disorder like Alzheimer's, etc.?
No, I haven't. So it was not there in my list. I have given only those which I have worked. And all these case stories, these testimonials are all there in my website. If you want to go and check, also it's in Facebook and everywhere. Some people allow tags, some people don't. So their non-disclosure agreement is very important, but some people are okay to share their journey and they're so happy about it. Yeah, so I do that.
Any other questions by anyone? So thank you, Srimanti, for a wonderful speech. I really appreciate it. Can I hand over to Rohit for the vote of thanks and for the Rohit?
Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Miss Srimanti ji, for the wonderful session and introducing us to the alternate way of treatment by therapy.
Yes.
And as a token of appreciation, we present this certificate to you. And thank you for accepting our invite and presenting to our members.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.